I'm feeling emotional lately. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's so interesting how our body speaks, right?
It is really interesting. And you know, what I also loved about that example you gave of the Shiva Linga?
Shakti, yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Shiva Shakti?
Shiva
Mhm.
is the masculine principle and Shakti is the feminine principle.
Okay. I have yet to learn about that.
It's like a penis,
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
lingam,
Mhm.
and the womb of a woman.
Yeah, right. So what I love about that is I so know what you mean about the Kali energy. Well, there's so many different faces of goddesses that reside in women. There's the wild, tumultuous emotions. I think of it as like a storm, or like a sea storm.
Yeah.
Even it feels like that for me, definitely, when I have my moments. Or like a hurricane brewing, you know, it's like a force of nature, isn't it? I feel like that's the emotional power, it's like this primal thing, deep as well, sort of thing that we have going on, that dynamic. But then there's also so much more. Then there's also the gentle and the nurturing,
Yes,
and the loving.
definitely.
It's so
There needs
complex.
to be balance. There needs to be balance in it. You know, there's this trend that women become so masculine right now, like right now since a while, which becomes misunderstood, and it comes more, like in many cases, out of this insecurity and the lack of worth, lack in general. They're trying to prove that they can achieve. It doesn't come from the place of authentic wanting to express yourself.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come from here, it's not really healthy, and it doesn't bring anything healthy to the relationship with men as well.
I feel that, and I'm not saying that I don't like masculine energy. I actually love it. I love the divine masculine and its qualities, but I do feel, and many people have said this, that we do live in a society that has dominantly masculine qualities, and it's revered more than womanly feminine qualities, and some people have even said that, you know, actually the divine masculine is also unhealthy and distorted right now, which, you know,
The divine masculine maybe not, but the masculine which is showing up.
Right, yes, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, thank you for clarifying. And you know, maybe there is something to that, and I feel that, yeah, I see that. Like women nowadays, a lot of women nowadays, I see them, yeah, trying to okay, for example, with feminism, some feminists go about it in a very masculine way, which is so kind of ironic to me. You know, not that there can't be the masculine within the woman and the feminine within the man. Absolutely. But I noticed that
this is the fact.
This is yin yang. This is the universal law and principle.
Yeah.
But I noticed that a lot of women, especially in like the career world, the working woman world, they go about it in such a they try to like prove themselves,
yes,
and you know, go about things in a masculine way, and even feminism has taken on this very masculine sort of. I mean, there's different brands of feminism too, but there are some brands of feminism that are very masculine oriented, which is kind of ironic, you know?
Yeah, and are they really happy? Are they really happy within?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the question.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can be only on this shallow level and the ego level where it feels good.
Yeah.
But then when you truly look within, are you truly happy? I'm not saying they're not, but I think many women, they come to realize that
men
this
too.
is not what they really want to be.
Yeah.
And men too, actually. I met so many men.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that kind of man. I feel this is some kind of a pattern. I have it from my father, I have it from watching porn, I have it from all these things. I become men like this, and I'm so lost because I don't want to look at it this way. But it just became such a habit. I want to go above that perception, which is became habit.
I think some of it is
Yeah,
that what I
and-
was talking about, that distorted form of masculinity.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have that ambition. It's good to have, the worldly endeavors and things like that. But I do feel that there has been a distortion where there's the overemphasis of the ego and all that stuff, the dominance and prove myself. I gotta prove. I mean, I've been influenced by that too. There's this subconscious programming of, I have to be productive, otherwise I'm worthless.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make something of myself, otherwise this life is worthless. And you know what? It's all fucking bullshit. And that's where we need the balance of the feminine to come in. That can really.
It is coming in. It's not like we. It's.
It is.
The funny thing is, we talk about all these things. Yeah, it's. It makes sense for some. For some, it's totally whatever. They bubbling, whatever. But the truth is, it's all happening naturally by itself anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We are just talking about what in our personal life we're noticing, what we're projecting as well from our own experiences, from what we're carrying from our mothers and their mothers and their mothers, etc. And what we see in front of our eyes as we grow as human beings, or as consciousness expanding itself through this incarnation of the body, female or masculine. So it's like we can only talk about in such a limited way, but I think it's still helpful for many women who are still struggling with finding who they really are as women. And for me, it's not who I am as woman, it's who I am as I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then the feminine shining through.
From that aligned place, and then seeing what comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
I like that.
And then, to have a conscious relationship is to have this partnership where we both allow ourselves to explore that and the things to come out.
Yeah.
Instead of just constricting and, you should be like this because this is what I like, because that's what I've been taught to like. This is my pattern, that's how my mother was and my first girlfriend was, or other girlfriends, and now I'm meeting somebody who's totally different and I just don't know how to go about it. This is too powerful for me, I feel insecure, I'm trying to dominate it, I'm trying to control it. And I meet men like that, and I meet women who talks about their boyfriends like that. And lately I met a woman who is actually getting divorced after 14 years with the husband, who she was kind of trying to make him understand, and he never did an effort to kind of get more conscious about things. And she said, you know what, eventually after so many years I'm in my power to leave, and because I know I deserve and I know I can be with somebody who can just match where she is right now. And this is incredible that women come into that power, they realizing their own power, that their needs matter as well. And it's not only us giving away, and sometimes we're giving away to men who don't know how to respect themselves, therefore how can they respect us in our feminine? So this is a lot of going on, and you can see this from the internet, from Facebook. And there's a lot of insecurity going on. You can see from the pictures of women and the way they behave with men, and just you can see so much. If you're in tune, if you're empathic, if you're more in touch with yourself, this is so easy to see. When woman is losing herself in an image, which is a projection coming from her boyfriend, and being afraid to break through it because she doesn't want to lose a man. And which I know for sure, if you come into your power, the man will expand, the man will shift, or you will meet somebody who will come and respect you as you deserve to be respected. Because men very often, they don't know themselves, they're unconsciously projecting things. And that's why we talk about these things, so men can also hear us. You're great guys, really. We love you so much. It's just, it's just getting more conscious about who we truly are, so we could express ourselves best towards other partners, and not wanting a woman to be a man with vaginas. Yeah, because I also noticed this is very common, that men want a woman to also think the same as men thinks, rational planning and all this. And I feel the most myself and feminine when I just flow with things. There are some plans which I need to do, practicalities, but I love when I follow my intuition, when I feel what I need to do, and I know that this is not the right time for me to do it. No, 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 it needs to be done now. No, I feel it's not the right time for me to do it. I understand how this birth process works for me. Now I am not in the process of giving birth. I'm still in the process of pregnancy, and I know what I need to do. I know when I need to wait, when I need to act, and all this. And men should embrace that, that women's wisdom and nature. This is so important.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I also was thinking about how, well, you know, as I mentioned before, I'm taking an online course right now on...
Oh yeah, I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah, it's with Laura Daligan, who is on YouTube. If you haven't noticed, I am a big YouTube watcher. So Laura Daligan is doing an online course right now called Goddess Awakening, and for each week, we are exploring each different archetype of the goddess, and we have 8 of them that we're exploring. There's the warrior goddess, there's the mother goddess, there's the maiden, there's, you know, the dark goddess. So I think that, you know, through my explorations with this, I think that, of course, as with archetypes, they all exist within each of us, man and woman. But I also noticed that some are more primary than others. And that was interesting to explore as well. So when you are talking about being aligned and then seeing what comes out, not trying to embody the projections of society that a woman ought to be, etc. I think it made me think of that, and then just finding, well, oh, I'm primarily the warrior goddess. Ooh, I'm primarily the maiden. Ooh, you know, and then it's not so cut and dry. We are a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and 70% this, or you know. I just think it's so interesting because it's not so cut and dry, these archetypes too. Yeah. You know, and I think that that's worth exploring for every woman.
Yeah, there should be space.
Yeah.
That I love space. I love when there is a space in a relationship with men. For us to explore each other and ourselves, for this compassion and loving kindness that I know I'm not in my fullest potential yet. Not always. Sometimes I'm in my dark days. Sometimes he is withdrawing. And this is beautiful to understand these dynamics, to allow this all to happen. And because we are so multidimensional beings. So this is the thing, to not take things too seriously, and things should be this and that way, just growing together.
Yeah, and it shifts, doesn't it?
Traveling together. This is so beautiful. Because it's so easy to give up sometimes and say, no, this is not working for me now. But actually, sometimes when you're patient and you develop this communication, that you're really honest with yourselves and with each other, there's so much magic, so much beauty is going on between two people. You become so heart-centered with each other that you experience the most magnificent things ever. And that's what I really love, when there is this communication from the heart. And I think many men have difficulties to show that vulnerable side, feminine vulnerable side of them. But also it's how we women create the space so this could happen. So this is also, it's never one-sided, it's always the relationship between two and the resonance and what we draw in each other. This is really, it is work in progress, it's art, the art of living, art of relationship, and Is there anything else to see? Tell me about your course, mermaid course. I was really interested to hear more about that.
Yeah, so I'm taking 2 courses right now. I'm keeping myself pretty busy with these online courses. I'm also taking a course on mermaids because I resonate a lot with the mer beings, the mer realm. Okay, yes.
Oh yeah, I was asking you about the mermaids, and then I realized that actually the mer priestess is
Yes.
it's what you are resonating
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
There's something to do with mermaids?
Yes, mer meaning of the realm of water. Mermaids are just that.
Mhm.
They are elemental beings of the water. And so I think a lot of women connect with that archetype. A lot of women identify themselves as this archetype, and some take it more literal or more figuratively. But I think whether you believe that they actually exist or not doesn't really matter so much as what you can actually get out of the archetype.
Okay.
And I think that's the case with all sorts of things, like deities, goddesses, whether you actually think that they exist or not, doesn't matter so much as what they symbolize.
Yes.
The myths as well, what is in the stories and things like that. So this woman who actually goes by the name Rockstar Priestess, she's a mermaidy priestess herself.
Priestess.
Yeah, it's a fun name.
Wow.
Her name is Demi, but she goes by the name with her brand, Rockstar Priestess. She has been exploring mermaids for a long time. She's always been drawn to them. She draws them because she was an art student, and she took time, she took years exploring the mermaid realm, reading about the mythologies through the folklore and the mythology throughout the world, throughout history of them, and then just like formulating her own conclusions and feeling into it herself, what the archetype means to her, and how embodying some of those characteristics, how that enriched her life and helped her personal growth. And it did for her a lot.
Interesting.
And so she's sharing that with us, but also encouraging us to explore it ourselves and find our own conclusions about what the archetype is to us. And so we're doing these guided meditations that she recorded where we explore the mer realm, and just doing all these exercises that are also linked with some things that she links with the mer realm. Several things which I do very much connect with. Mermaids are very much about beauty. And, you know, when we think of mermaids, don't we think of beautiful beings? I mean, they're
feminine, right?
Very feminine.
And this is a funny, interesting thing. That they are, like, above their...
navel?
Navel, yeah. They are like half fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
below
like,
their navel they are. Yeah,
it's like this part which is like a womb and the vagina and all this. This is kind of a cut off. And they are still very feminine. They're still representing the feminine. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
I've read a book about mermaids, mermaid conflict or complex, mermaid complex. I read it when I was like 15. It is about the women who are actually feeling cut off from this, like they're cut off from their feminine. So this was the funny thing, that it was represented by mermaids. That we kind of a cold fish from the, from the navel below. We cold fish. We are like, feminine and all this and long hair, and then we are kind of a cold fish. And the book was all about that. And I remember the mermaid complex. But what you're saying is completely opposite.
It's a very different interpretation. Well, the way that I think about it, and that's not invalid, that's an interpretation that this author had. But to me, that's the wild aspect, the animal aspect,
okay.
Right? The elemental.
Why fish?
Well, it's
water.
Yeah, it's linked to the element of water. Some mer beings were also, rather than fish, being half fish, some of them were actually half snake.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's something, but I think that they have a relation, but there's this like primal, wild, wise,
Snake.
elemental. Yeah.
Interesting. Shiva, actually, the masculine element is kind of a connected with the snake actually. So the snake is actually an archetype of the more masculine energy than
Ah,
I would
okay.
say. It's interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Unless I'm getting it wrong. But it's just,
yeah.
it just made me think that, no.
For some reason, I think I might have heard some lore that it was linked with
I
feminine.
think I'm
but
going to do research.
Okay.
I'm lacking information, I don't want to write it down, so.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that there's something relevant in that. To me, and even if you don't believe in such beings as elementals, which I do personally, but you don't have to, there's something in that and what they represent. And so they are elemental beings of the earth, of the ocean specifically. And yeah, they're about beauty. They're about several things. They're the wild archetype, which I mentioned. They are about romance as well, emotions. You know, the emotions are really, I mean, they're in the realm of water. To me,
Yeah, water emotions. Definitely.
yeah, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because emotions have even been called energy in motion.
Yes.
It really is. It flows. Ideally, hopefully flows through you.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case,
Yeah.
unfortunately, for a lot of people. A lot of times it's suppressed, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'm exploring that right now, and it's that's been really, really good. Because then I realized, yeah, the ways that I do resonate with it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so me. And it really helped me to identify, like, oh, this is very much my archetype.
Okay.
They're also very physical because they are elemental beings. They're so sensual. And I think I can really identify with that.
I can identify with mermaids. Actually, I've been told a few times.
I told you you're a mermaid.
You told me I'm a mermaid.
I identified
I've been told
you.
from different sources as well. Oh, you're like a mermaid.
Yeah.
I say I'm thinking about the long hair and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's something which I'm not seeing about myself. Like, I've been said so many things, I've been told so many things about the way you move, the way you speak, the way you
I see it.
gesticulate.
Yeah.
And I never really could understand what people say. But then when I, for example, see myself on camera later on, I'm like, oh, that's surprising for me to look at myself from the third person perspective and see that. It's so interesting that sometimes we feel just different within than how we come across outside.
Absolutely. I
so
think
amazing.
everyone has that, right? Like, we're just being us, and we don't know. Like, we're not walking around like, I'm graceful, I'm graceful.
I am myself. Look how myself I am today. The best myself I ever been.
You could be cute, but you're not walking around thinking, I'm cute.
Yeah,
or you could
yeah.
be graceful and not walk around thinking, look at how graceful I am.
Yeah.
You're just you.
Yeah.
You know, you're just...
Yes.
You live it in your own skin. You become then less conscious of it because
Yeah.
you're just doing you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that totally makes sense.
Yeah. And actually I noticed that, you know, we are the most attractive as women to men when we are in our own skin.
Mm-hmm.
How many times we've been said that, you know, when we are in the day when we don't care what we wear and, you know, makeup and all these things, and we've been told that, you know, we look beautiful, and on the other days when we just dress up and all this and nobody even notice, or we feel ourselves that we are too much in a moment. You know, too much superficial maybe, or too much perfected, not feeling natural with ourselves. That's why I like to be natural. Most of the time I don't wear makeup, I have my hair loose and I wear whatever feels good on me, like wherever I feel in. And then I noticed when I feel good in my skin, then I kind of a universe respond to me. Yeah, so when we left off, I just want to say, when we feel this big yes towards ourselves, within ourselves, then the universe says yes to us as well. It's just that's how it feels. And for me, when I feel yes, I feel like I'm breathing through a whole body, like I'm totally relaxed, totally at peace. And this is where the magic happens, when the miracles happens, when so many positive things happens, abundance flows. So I like to feel that way. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm not always like that. At the moment I'm actually struggling emotionally, and I hope I didn't come across as somebody. Actually, I came across whatever. It's fine. It's just I'm saying that that's why, you know, the audience may feel I'm a bit frustrated right now or whatever, but that's my authentic feeling, and
It is authentic.
yeah, and I'm still working through this process. I'm not even a mother. I don't have my own child. I can't speak from that perspective. I can only speak from the perspective which I am now, and then I don't know what's going to happen, how things will change when I will be actually a mother, embodying the I don't know, the final kind of a aspect of this incarnation as this female body. So that's going to be interesting experience, which is still some time away from me, but things may change.
Yeah, I think that you're just sharing your process and just being authentic. And who said we had to have the answers?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I don't think we do have. The only thing I know for sure is when you feel good within yourself, if you're a man or a woman, the rest just flows. And we should allow other to flow as well. It's like when we are constricted, we constrict others. When they are constricted, they try to project that on us. And the more conscious we are, the more space we give to whatever there is, and the beautiful things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to close off. Does this feel complete to you?
There are some things which I still want to talk about, but I think it's already a long video, and we touch some topics. It's just a regular, normal conversation. We are not trying to preach or trying to, I don't know, convince somebody to our opinions and stuff like that. Just sharing whatever is there, and if it is valued for somebody, that's great. If it's not, that's great as well.
Yeah, we're just in the moment right now, just authentically sharing and exploring the topic of femininity.
Yeah, what it means for us, and still I know that things will change so much. We never know when and how, but that's why we are expanding. Yeah, so we don't know. We don't know nothing. Or we don't know anything, as you say.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah?
It was lovely talking to you. Thank you for sharing your experiences, and the goddess course, the mermaid course is really interesting. I'm going to look into that. And for those who would like to check it out, you're welcome to ask us questions, where to find informations about different things. And yeah, we're looking forward, I look forward to speak with you about other topics as well in the future.
Yeah, thank you for sharing as well.
Yeah, if you would like us to talk more about things, then let us know. Maybe there is a specific topic you would like to find out about, and maybe we have something to say about that. Never know. Then let us know. And yeah, and that's it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.